Good morning, Tuscaloosa. Good morning, Tuscaloosa, Internet World, West Alabama. How are we doing today on a Monday? It's the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral, BamaCentral.com. Hope you and yours are doing well. We're live in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios right here off of McFarland Boulevard. You can call Derek for all of your insurance needs at 205-758-3391. You can watch the show on the Bama Central YouTube channel, on the Bama Central Facebook page, or you can listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. You can find the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central. We're going to have a great day, great week. How can you not? We're here with Theo Fernandez, and we're here to talk about an Alabama victory in the Iron Bowl of basketball. The Crimson Tide going down to Neville Arena, winning 96-92. So lots to celebrate and lots to get into right there, as the Crimson Tide had a very successful week on the hardwood, going 2-0, and then you're turning it over. What do you got, like 8-9 more games left in the SEC schedule? So we'll talk about all kinds of things Alabama basketball related today. We'll talk about the Super Bowl. I had a good time watching the Super Bowl. Very good defensive game. Congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks for winning the Super Bowl, but specifically congratulations to Josh Jobe, to Jaron Reed, to Robbie Oots, and to Jalen Milroe, as 4 Alabama football players earned themselves Super Bowl rings. We'll talk about that as well today with our man Theo Fernandez. You can follow Theo Fernandez at Theo Fernandez _, on the Twitter machine. He's writing all things Alabama athletics for us at BamaCentral.com. He's on the show 5 days a week. So leave us a comment, a question, a query, or complaint. I'll be pulling up some voicemails here in just a minute, reacting to Alabama basketball's big win. But first, Theo, good morning. You've been in Spanish class this entire semester. Do you know what in the heck was Bad Bunny singing last night?
I've been in Spanish class. I also have spent months of my life living in Panama. My family lives there. I don't know a single word that man said on that broadcast. It's not real Spanish, first of all. It's not real Spanish, man. I didn't know what was going on. I was not the biggest fan of that show, but no, Joe, to answer your question, I can't tell you anything that was said on that halftime show.
He wasn't singing "Hola, ¿cómo estás?" So, I enjoyed that, but we'll get into that a little bit later. I thought you maybe could have helped me out with letting me know what he was singing. I was bobbing my head at the TV like a dummy, going, da-da, da-da, yeah, it was a great weekend. Alabama basketball goes down to the Plains. Charles Bediako has a pretty impactful game despite everybody chanting at him, as they should. Bediako out there with 12 points and 3 rebounds, and got himself a steal in 22 minutes. Really, I think, triggered the Auburn faithful. LeBaron Philon and Aiden Holloway getting it done. Aiden Holloway with 15 points, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds. I thought really was initiating the offense on Saturday as well. So I thought the guys played with a lot of heart and a lot of character, because they were down 4, down 6 most of the game, but dug their way back into it and dug their way back on top at the end of the game, especially obviously with Aiden Holloway's three-point shot that turned into a 4-point play. Theo, what were some of your big takeaways besides the announcers not being able to say Falan and Mullet and mispronouncing every Alabama player's name as they were calling the game? What were some of your big takeaways as Alabama won the Iron Bowl of basketball?
Yeah, that's just absurd to be doing that at this point in the season with a school this big, right? Houston Mullet is not the guy who was playing out on the court, and Mullet did have a very, very good game, I thought. Second time, I would say, in a row now, going back to the A&M game, where we've seen Mullet have the kind of impact that we thought we were getting preseason, right? You made a couple threes, only shot 3 times, right? You gave us 6 points out of those 3 shots, made some tough plays, had the hustle. That's something that does not jump out right away, but it's something that has added up to, has given a big boost to this team in 2 very close games, right? 2 down to the wire performances. And one of the differences comes when you're actually getting something from this guy. I thought Bediako, in what may be his final game, was very good. I did. I mean, I thought there were actually times where he looked like a dominant basketball player there and did not miss from the field. Didn't necessarily have a ton of rebounds. Don't have the stats pulled up. I think he had four.
Three rebounds.
3 rebounds, but
3 rebounds, 2 defensive, 1 offensive. He was a perfect 5 of 5 from the floor and was 2 of 3 from the free throw line.
Yeah, right. Like that is a good performance, but the star of the game, the reason Alabama won this basketball game, I think, was Amari Allen. That is something we'll talk about.
Grant Hill?
It was a Grant Hill-esque performance from Amari Allen out on the court. He was phenomenal, man. This guy is one of the best freshmen in the country. And you see, ESPN will put up their graphics of all the really, really top guys, right? Because, yeah, sure, Amari Allen's a half tier below the superstars that are out there leading these teams, right? You watch Duke Carolina. You saw 2 freshmen who, these guys are a little above Allen's level right now. But this guy is a very, very good basketball player. This guy is in Alabama's big 3 for this year, right? As far as it's Holloway, it's Philon, and then it's Amari Allen right there. So he really is a phenomenal player. He had a phenomenal game. And I guess the other one that we have to shout out right away is London Jemison going out, creating a 7-0 run on his own. Plus 11, led the team in plus minus out there, and London Jemison has given this team some phenomenal stretches the last few games.
Yeah, he's a spark plug all by himself. Last game against Texas A&M, he scored like 10 or 12 points, but he had 7 points, bam, 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 all in a row, right by himself in the span of about 30 seconds. So coach puts him in when he needs about 8 points, and he gets it going right there. But yeah, Amari Allen, 17 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Did 4 fouls, 2 turnovers. I want to make it fair right there. Take the good with the bad, but he's plus 6 in 35 minutes of action. He's 5 of 8 from the floor, 4 for 4 from the free throw line, and he made 3 of 5 from deep. A winning player who makes winning basketball plays.
Absolutely. No, just everything you need. And it was a scrappy game, right? We had some hard fouls. We had some physicality. Amari Allen embraces all of that. He is, it's incredible looking back now at how he was so under recruited. And he obviously wasn't a low recruit, right? It's not like he didn't have interest, but this guy looks like a 5-star, right? This guy looks like he should have been near the top of this class. And man, I think this game, I'm going to go out and say that this game just about eliminates any chance of us seeing him back in Tuscaloosa next year, because I think just about every single NBA team has got this guy on the radar now, as far as somebody who, once we exit the top 8 of the NBA draft, you go get yourselves Amari Allen, because he is a winning basketball player.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's part of the reason why I have enjoyed him so much. And just the winner's mentality, the winner's quality is really probably where I saw the Grant Hill comparison the most, where, we need a rebound, I'll get a rebound. We need a steal, I'll get a steal. We need a bucket, I'll go find a bucket. We need somebody to initiate some offense and get an assist, I'll do that. So really, I mean, you laughed at me for making that comparison, which is fine. It's okay. But that was really kind of the heart of that comparison, is how Grant Hill is always kind of doing whatever his team needs to get done to help them take the step towards winning. Yes, they have similar heights and weights, and yes, they've got similar numbers as freshmen. Amari Allen's are better, but it's really the winning quality and the winning mentality that Amari Allen shows each and every time. Every time he's on the floor, it's like, well, do we need 5? I'll go lead the team in rebounds. I'll get ourselves a bucket, and I'll make my free throws, and I'll do the little things that other people aren't really committed to. And he's got skill too. Like the last 2 years, you had that in Mo Diabate, and we love Mo Diabate. All good feelings for Mo D, but Mo D's not inherently a skilled basketball player. He's not a three-point shooter. He's not, going to just dazzle you with his handles. He's not going to blow you away with all his passes. Obviously, I don't know that, I wouldn't say that Amari Allen's blowing people away with his handles or his passes, but he's got the ability to handle the basketball and to pass the bat and to shoot, to do all the, I'm a skilled basketball player things, as well as I also have a junkyard dog mentality. So I'm just really impressed with him as a player, and thinking that we should enjoy the final 8 regular season games that you have with him in an Alabama uniform.
Absolutely. All right, now, Joe, I'm going to change it to another topic
on
this game.
Go for it.
Do you have the stat broadcast? Do you have the box score pulled up?
I do.
What do you think my favorite stat of any player in any column from this game is?
Ooh, okay.
There's one clear favorite for me.
On the Alabama side?
On the Alabama side.
Individually
on any of the columns.
All right, so let me flip it over to the Alabama side specifically. I was looking at split box. Okay, I think that you're going to enjoy... Aiden Sherrill, 4 blocks.
It's a good one.
Okay, no, not Aiden Sherrill, 4 blocks. I think that you're going to go towards free throws, 20 of 23 as a team.
Yes, more specifically, LeBaron Philon.
8 of 9.
8 of 9.
20 of 23. That's pretty good.
20 of 23 is good. Free throws did not sink this team. You made them down the stretch when you needed. You
needed them. You won by only 4.
Yeah. But LeBaron Philon, after not getting to the free throw line against
9
Texas
free throw
A&M,
attempts,
after I've been really critical about why are we settling for all these shots, it's just you're not playing basketball like you are the best offensive player on the court. There we go. We're getting to the basket. We're drawing contact. We're getting to the line. Everything I possibly wanted to see out of LeBaron Philon in this game. Really turning it up to... He's averaged 20, right? And then I've talked about how I believe it's one of the quietest 20s you'll ever see a college basketball player average. This was a loud, resounding, dominant 25 points. He was the best player on that court, 25, 6, and 5 the final line. This is the kind of performance that makes you think, okay, yes, LeBaron Philon is the kind of player that can actually lead this Alabama basketball team somewhere in March. Big step in the right direction for Zero.
Absolutely it was. And you have to get to, like, that's the missing piece that people don't think about in the NATO system. They just think that NATO has all 5 players hanging around the 3-point arc and just passing it around and somebody takes a 3. The offense starts at the rim. Can you get to the rim for a layup or a dunk? Can you lob threat to Bediako, to Sherrill? Can you drive to the rim for a layup or a dunk from your starting guard? It starts right there. And then, okay, if you can't get all the way to the rim, can you draw a free throw? Because these points per shot, the points per shot math basically has your dunk and layup at, at 1.8 or 1.6, 1.7 in that range. And then the free throw, the singular free throw is about 0.7, 0.8. And so you want that shot next. You want 2 of them. So you add that 0.7, 0.8, you're at 1.4, you're at 1.6 on your free throw trips. And then it's the 3-point shot, where you're at basically 2.1, 1.8 or in change or so. So, like, it's not just stand around the 3-point line and jack them up. You've got to get to the rim first. And I think LeBaron Philon has struggled with that during SEC play, but really put it on and put his ability on display on Saturday against the Auburn Tigers. 25 points, 7 of 15 from the field, 3 of 6 from beyond the arc, and as Theo highlighted, 8 of 9 from the free throw line. But he didn't just give you scoring. 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 blocks, and a steal from LeBaron Philon, probably showing he's the best player on the floor on Saturday.
I thought he was. I absolutely thought he showed that. And this was an impressive performance from this basketball team. This was an impressive week. This was Alabama with your back against the wall. NATO is talking about, yes, the season is at a tipping point. We got embarrassed a week ago in Gainesville. That's how you respond. That is delivering too. Just great performances where not only did you win those games, but you won in a way that suggests that the ceiling of this team still exists. You won in a way that suggests we can replicate these results and the elements that created them against some of the best teams in the country. This is the team that went toe-to-toe with Purdue, right? That competed up until the last couple minutes with Gonzaga. This team is playing at a higher level than it has in at least a month and a half right now. Very, very impressed by the last two results, particularly going in and beating Auburn.
All right, so let's transition. Let's stay with the basketball, but we will go to the voicemail line. I got 2 voicemails. Really, I've got 3, and we'll find out how the math kind of plays out. You can call the voicemail line at 205-462-7340, extension 800, if you want to have your voice be a part of the show. React to Alabama's win over Auburn. React to the Super Bowl if you want to do that. You can set us up on an off-season topic if you've got thoughts, if you've got a recipe I need to try, call, leave us a recipe, voicemail, whatever you want to leave us on the voicemail line, 205-462-7340, extension 800. Here is Hunter Brantley and Dax.
This is beyond frustrating, man. If we just get a freaking rebound, we'll win this game. Point blank, period. Rebound equals win. They're not even shooting good from the floor. They're shooting 40%. They're shooting 28% from 3. We're shooting 51% from the field and 45% from 3. I will take that all day long, and somehow we're still down by 4 points. If we just rebound and play with toughness and quit getting pushed around by a bunch of freaking 6'2", 6'3" guards, we'll be fine. But Bediako and Sherelle are just inept to going after the ball and rebounding. They are just incapable of doing anything. And it's really starting to piss me off.
All right, so that must have been Hunter calling at halftime because I had 2 Hunter voicemails, and I appreciate him definitely calling at halftime. The first half was kind of rough because Auburn really got going and was ahead largely based on points off turnovers, largely based off second chance points. They ended up in the first half with, what's the number here? Second chance points, 12 second chance points, and points off turnovers, 15 points off turnovers. So of their 41 first half points, 27 of them came off second chance points with the rebounds or points off turnovers, getting some fast breaks or making it happen on the other end. Alabama really a sluggish start in this game, though, Theo.
Yeah, it was not fun starting out, and it really was. Alabama had, I think they just scored their 14th point, hitting the 10-minute mark, right? Yeah, the offense just exploded from there, but it was an interesting start.
All right, let's keep going here with Hunter. I think this is a post-game voicemail.
I told you, man. You rebound, you win the game. You break even with them on offensive rebounds, 4 apiece. Amari Allen balls out in the second half. London Jemison does the same thing. I know he didn't light up the stat sheet, but I thought he gave really good minutes, plus 11. That led the team. He was really, really good. Shout out to the freshmen, man. Give the freshmen their flowers. They played phenomenal. Very proud of them. I think they're coming along greatly. Bediako kind of settled in the second half. I don't even think he scored in the first half. I could be wrong. He might have had 2 points, no more than 4, if that. I thought he played really well. He can still rebound better. Somehow he was a -7, but I liked the minutes that he gave as well. Holloway came up clutch with a 4-point play there at the end. Freaking phenomenal. He's a freaking bucket sometimes down the stretch. He played bad in the first half. He regrouped, took care of the ball, rebounded really well. For his standards, I thought he played great. And then Phylon, he's just the best player in the country, man. Point blank, period. You can have Darren Peterson, you can have Dibansa, you can have them all. Amen, Acuff, don't care. Give me Phylon.
That's Hunter Brantley on the voicemail line. We'll get to Dax's here in just a second. You got any reactions to your man Hunter?
I can't believe you've actually made the Chappelle line stick, Joe. We saw it on SEC Network. We've got Hunter doing it. You've created something.
The 5 greatest rappers of all time: Dylan, and Dylan. The 5 greatest point guards of all time. Phylon, and Phylon.
You've made it stick. Impressive.
There we go. Yeah, no, the only thing I want to go to with his voicemail right there is Aiden Holloway. As impressive as the Baron was, and he probably had his best game in an Alabama uniform in 3 weeks or so. Maybe a little longer, but I'd say about his best performance in about 3 weeks. I still think Aiden Holloway initiates this offense better than LeBaron does. Now, I think LeBaron finishes at the rim better, but I think Aiden's decisiveness and decision making when the ball's in his hands, I don't know. It's just a feel factor. It's not analytics. I've broken it down the numbers, but it's just a feel factor. It feels like when the ball is in Aiden's hands, it's moving more intentionally. Whether Aiden is driving himself to the rim, whether he's driving to kick, whether he's making a pass, it just feels like his intentionality is a tick higher than LeBaron Phylon's.
I don't dislike that take. I don't necessarily agree with it, but yeah, it's hard to argue with because we've seen so many good things happen from Holloway as a facilitator, as a playmaker, as a leader of this offense. But I do really think that these are two guys who were able to work in tandem, right? Who have both had the experience, mainly last year, and I guess for Holloway's freshman year as well at Auburn, of being on the court without being the primary guy, right? And I think it does speak volumes to what this team is capable of, that you have Phylon, such a high-performing player, a guy who's, he's still leading the SEC in points, who is able to, at times, revert back to a lower role, right? Who is able to say, okay, for certain possessions or stretches of the game, I will be freshman year LeBaron Phylon playing next to Mark Sears while Aiden Holloway facilitates leads, and when I need to turn it on, I will. I think it's a very good mix and match between those two.
Yeah, they certainly seem to be working well together. And obviously, Coach Oates knows more basketball, has forgotten more basketball than I'll ever know. But it just seems like, from me sitting up in the stands and watching these games, that Aiden drives the offense, initiates the offense just a little bit differently. Maybe effective is a matter of is a subjective term, but to me, I like how Aiden directs the offense when he's actually in control. When LeBaron, I think LeBaron can do it. It's about a mindset with LeBaron to me. Sometimes it feels like he plays a little too relaxed, but I feel like on Saturday he played with an edge. He found his edge and played with it. I guess when he plays with his edge and gives you what he gives you on Saturday, then he's automatically the 1.1.
Yeah, and is Holloway capable of those kind of performances offensively, scoring consistently? I don't know. I think that Phylon is just a better overall offensive player, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Holloway's a better pure shooter.
I agree.
I think most people would agree with that one. But I just think that when Phylon has the ball, it makes the defense account for so much more, including the fact that Holloway if Holloway gets the ball with a clean look, you're probably giving up 3 points. That's another piece of what makes it so dangerous is, first of all, we'll talk about Bediako in a minute, but while Bediako is there, the lob threat is so ever present. And we haven't seen all that many of those lobs even come through, right? Because we saw a bunch in Tennessee, probably more in Tennessee than any other game. And then all these defenses instantly realize that, okay, yeah, we really have to account for them. And next thing you know, you're shooting 38 threes against Missouri, and you're shooting, I forget what the number against Florida was, but I think you went 14 of 42.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
You had another high output against A&M. Bediako really has opened things up a lot there, allowed looks to exist, and then you go in and have one of your lowest 3-point totals of the season, right? 23 attempts against Auburn, and you're still scoring 96 points. So I really do think that Bediako has opened so much and just made LeBaron's job so much easier because Sherrell does some good things with 4 blocks. We like to see that. He is a basketball player that helps this team in many ways, but the vertical spacing on the court is not necessarily one of them that he brings.
Let's keep going here on the voicemail line. I think we have Dax here reacting to Alabama's victory over the Auburn Tigers.
What's up, guys? It is Dax. Roll Tide beat them kitty cats on the plains today. That game started off rocky to turnover city, letting them get points off the turnovers. Aiden Sherrell was playing kind of soft for a lot of this game. But Aiden Holloway came in clutch at the end. Very, very close. My Lord, Aiden Holloway is catching some fire. That boy in the past 2 games has been elite, in my opinion. Amari Allen just seems to get better every game. I love him, dude. If he goes out, we're done. And I really do not want him to leave this university after this year, but boy's going to be a one and done for sure. But, started off the game rocky, ended hot, ended really hot. Like, we were draining it by the end of that game. Very, very nerve-wracking, I will say that. I mean, every game up in there is going to be nerve-wracking. Any game against Auburn in any sport is nerve-wracking, and I don't like playing them ever, but we have to. I like beating them. I love beating them more than any other team, but I hate playing them. Roll Tide, I think the season, hopefully we can stop going up and down like this. Getting a win over Texas A&M and then that kind of win over Auburn is some 2 really good wins. I just maybe this season is like the game was today, where we have started off very rocky, but all that matters is you get hot when March comes around, and hopefully this team is on an upward trajectory because it sure looks like it. Proud of them boys. Roll Tide.
There we go. That's Dax on the voicemail line reacting to Alabama's win over the Auburn Tigers. What do you think of his call, Theo?
Well, I think as far as most of the game recap stuff he said, I think that's most of the points we've hit, and I have nothing really in there that I disagree with. I think it's interesting, you're talking about the season, right, and the, I guess, outlook on the year. Things could get really, really fun for this team right now with the stretch of games coming up for the Crimson Tide. You got it pulled up, or you want me to give those games, Joe?
Well, I've got it, at least the next couple. Wednesday's against Ole Miss. Wednesday's at Ole Miss. Saturday is home with South Carolina. Bring your Valentine's Day home to Coleman Coliseum. You have next week, the week after, you're home with Arkansas. Then you're at LSU. So those are your next 4, and I see 3 and honestly 4 very winnable games for Alabama.
Yeah, and then
you want me to keep going? Yeah,
no,
keep going.
So after that is Mississippi State. So I guess we'll talk about that 5-game stretch right there.
Sure, perfect,
right?
perfect.
This needs to be a 4-1 stretch for Alabama, and I absolutely think it can be. I mean, you look at these teams, like Ole Miss is a hard place to succeed. Chris Beard, the fact that he hasn't gone in there and instantly turned things around is very telling of just the job you have to do to win basketball games there. And they really are a team that is frankly not good. And I don't think you're going to be in a particularly hostile road environment over there. There's just, not to discredit Ole Miss fans or anything, but like there's no real excuse to lose that basketball.
I agree.
game.
None.
There's absolutely no excuse to lose to the Gamecocks at home on Saturday night. Arkansas is a team that's had a fair share of issues, right? That's had some really, really head-scratching performances. They're a very talented team. That game is pretty close to a toss-up in my eyes. But then you respond, you go out to LSU, and you host Mississippi State, and it's like, those are 2 pretty average basketball teams right there. And I think that there will be a lot of frustration from the fan base if either any of those 4 games are losses.
I agree, big time.
There is no reason to be doing this. And you close the season with Tennessee, Georgia, Auburn after those 5. I think if you go 4-1 in this stretch, we can be a lot more. We can be okay with the results more so that may come in that last stretch of 3 games.
Yeah, if you go 5-0, you're like, remember, we've reset our goals. I don't think that the regular season championship is at play. Florida still has several tough games ahead, but they're really technically 3 games ahead. They're 2 games ahead of you, but technically it's 3 because they have the tiebreaker. They're playing Kentucky twice. They're playing Arkansas, but outside of that, they've got South Carolina, they've got Texas, they've got Mississippi State, they've got teams that they probably should daddy smack. And so they're probably going to go ahead and win the SEC regular season, even if they split with Kentucky. Kentucky at 8-3, you have the tiebreaker over them. So really, you're just 1 game behind Kentucky in the 2nd spot. Arkansas is on the schedule. You can make up the 1 game difference right there in Colby Coliseum next week. And then Texas A&M, 1 game ahead of you. You've got the tiebreaker. If they just drop 1, you're sitting pretty good to be in one of these top 4 spots by the end of the year. But it does mean that you have to really handle business against these 5 teams that really 4 of them are inferior. But I think that when you look at Arkansas, I think they're talented, but really John Calipari, Coach Oates has had Calipari's number for quite some time now, and I would expect that to continue with a home game.
Yeah, Joe, and looking at this, I think Alabama just about controls its own destiny to get up as high as number 2 in the conference standings. Right?
Agreed.
And I mean, you look at it, A&M, they got dog walked by Florida. They are going to lose some more games down the stretch. I think Buckyball's not figured out or anything, but at the end of the day, this is still this isn't a very talented team that's succeeding off system right now. And A&M will lose some basketball games. Kentucky probably loses to Florida twice, if we're being frank. I mean, Kentucky doesn't even feel like they're 8-3 in conference with how frustrating some of their results have been. I have no real stock or faith in them to continue to stay this high in the conference. You play Tennessee, right? You have a chance because you're in a 4-way tie for 5th right now.
Right.
Alabama could end this season as the number 2 team in the SEC. With the schedule this Crimson Tide has, not getting a top 4 spot would be just about inexcusable. Like, just looking at what exists ahead of you and just looking at, you have to be able to gain a game over Vanderbilt down the stretch of the season, right? Like, Vanderbilt they went down to the wire with Ole Miss. They just lost to Oklahoma. Top 4 it'd be unacceptable to finish anything lower than 4th in the conference standings, I would say.
I agree with you, and you have to. I mean, if you finish in the top 4, you get the double bye in the conference tournament, and that is so important to your next real goal, which is still there, winning the SEC tournament. I do think that that's definitely still out there. You have a good weekend up in Nashville, and you can become SEC tournament champions. And so I think that this past week against A&M and against Auburn were 2 really tough games, but the right 2 games to refocus the team and redial yourself in and to get the fan base back on track a little bit because I think that there was a little bit of I'm done with this team after getting there after losing to Florida so badly. So I think it was a really important week for Alabama and I'm proud of the team for getting it done and for showing really good character. I think you easily could have folded down there in Neville when nothing was really going your way in the first half and you were turning the basketball over so frequently and things just weren't quite right. But you dug at it and you got it done. A 2-0 week. And so now you move on to the next week.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun stretch of basketball. It is. And I've been I think rightfully so, hard on this basketball team. I still stand by many of the statements that I've made about this basketball team. But at the very least, the win-loss column will look a little better, entering February 28th against Tennessee.
Get a temperature check on Theo Fernandez. Tomorrow we are going to hear from Coach Oates about the Ole Miss matchup. But Theo, get your temperature check on your Sweet 16 take. Alabama will not make the Sweet 16 as of a couple of weeks ago for you, maybe a week and a half now for you. A temperature check on that. Is Alabama going to be a Sweet 16 team?
Alabama will not be a Sweet 16 team. I stand by the take.
There we go. All right. So we will see what happens over the next few weeks with the Crimson Tide basketball team. Let's transition to the Super Bowl just briefly, and maybe we'll hit on Mr. Beast just a little bit as well. Before we do that, we want to remind you the program is brought to you by Purple Turtle Roofing. At Purple Turtle Roofing, we're not just another contractor. We're your neighbor and your advocate when it comes to protecting your home or business. With years of hands-on experience, top-tier certifications, and a commitment to excellence, we've built a reputation as Alabama's go-to roofing solution. We specialize in residential roofing, commercial roofing, emergency storm repairs, full-on roof replacement, insurance claim support, and more. Want to find out more? Just check them out online at roofturtle.com. You can call them for a free roof inspection or set that up online. Call them at 877-PT-ROOF-5 or check them out online at roofturtle.com. Roofing with heart, built to last. All right, Theo, let's turn our attention over to last night's Super Bowl as the Patriots came away on the wrong end. The Seattle Seahawks were really dominant in the matchup on Sunday night, the last game of the year. You now have 201 days until college football kicks off. Hawaii, Stanford, Memphis at UNLV, NC State, Virginia, New Mexico State at Florida State, and TCU and UNC open up your college football schedule on August 29th. But that's 201 days away. So you've got plenty of time to learn a skill. You've got plenty of time to develop a hobby or work on a habit. But we'll look at last night's Super Bowl as the Seahawks won 29-13. What were your biggest takeaways, man?
I think this was one of the least memorable Super Bowls I've ever seen. I think that 5 years from now, I might not even remember a single thing about this game. Like, you just look, there's nothing to talk about. It was a bad football game.
Kenneth Walker being a beast.
And that's the thing, like, all of the storylines there, like Kenneth Walker, good moment. Happy for the Seattle fan base. Happy for, like who care? Who's going to care nationally about Kenneth Walker's big Super Bowl performance, right? Like, when we have some of these bad Super Bowls, right, there needs to be something memorable tied to it with the players or with the legacies that are affected by it, right? I'm sorry, but I don't think Sam Darnold will win another Super Bowl. I think people are going to look back and be like, oh, yeah, Sam Darnold won a Super Bowl with an all-around good team. Like, that was a cool story. So it's weird when we get a game like this, right? That's not tied to a Patriots dynasty or a Chiefs dynasty or didn't deliver us some crazy, moments or even a fun game like the Rams Bengals a few years ago, right? Because that's a similar case, I guess. It was just bad football, man. I'm sorry. It was just underwhelming. Two underwhelming teams. Didn't feel like a Super Bowl. The Patriots have been frauds all year.
How did the Patriots win so many games with that left side of the offensive line?
Look who they played. I mean, Will Campbell, man.
Both of those guys were not good.
Well, you saw what Will Anderson did to him in that divisional round, right? One of the statistically best performances defenders had. Highest PFF pass rush grade, or second highest in history behind Von Miller in Super Bowl 50. Like, New England has had all these flaws all year. And it just got covered up because you literally played nobody. You had just about the easiest schedule any NFL team will ever have.
But it's still NFL football. You're still winning NFL games.
You got to play Jarrett Stidham for a trip to the Super Bowl. Come on.
I'm just shocked that Will Campbell and Jared Wilson were so bad, getting the left side of the line caved in over and over and over again. And I know Drake May didn't have a very good game, but I think it's pretty challenging to play quarterback in a situation like that. Here's your one takeaway. Here's your one thing to hold on to. Alabama cornerback Josh Jobe ended up second most tackles for the Seattle Seahawks last night. 7 tackles last night, 6 solo tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, and 1 pass defended for new Super Bowl champion, undrafted free agent, Mr. Josh Jobe.
And Jalen Milroe has now won more Super Bowls than every Auburn quarterback combined. People tweeted that out. People on Twitter are trying to tell me that that is incorrect because John Franklin III played backup quarterback for Auburn in 2016 before getting a ring with Tampa Bay as a wide receiver on a year when he was thrown on the IR before the season started, didn't play at all, and was released at the end of the year. So if you want to have it, sure, Auburn fans, but Jalen Milroe and Robbie Oates win Super Bowls as a rookie.
I'm sorry, say that again. I was reading a tweet. I'm
just talking about Milroe and Robbie Oates, Super Bowl champions.
Hey, the best
rookie years.
Great. I mean, how much better can you script it? You're not going to be a starter, Jalen Milroe, but you're going to be on a team that wins a Super Bowl. Robbie Oates, you're going to be a pseudo starter at fullback, and you're going to help your team win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was hoping we'd see Robbie out there doing something during the game. You know, it's one of the things I was just watching out for, and I don't think we really saw him.
No carries, no receptions.
I didn't see him on the field. He could have gotten on
so
there,
terrible.
Bro.
So terrible.
He'll have a solid career.
Yeah, exactly. Mike McDonald winning his first Super Bowl. 3rd-year coach, right? 2nd-year head coach, 3rd-year.
2nd year.
3rd youngest. That's what I saw. 3rd youngest coach to win a Super Bowl. I knew there was a 3rd something in there.
So he's won a Super Bowl every year that he hasn't had Ryan Grubb and Floyd as his OC.
Oh, no. Was Ryan Grubb the problem with the offense? No, I think it was more so Geno Smith.
Yeah, it's hard to win games with Geno.
Yeah, ask Las Vegas. All right, Theo, any other big takeaways from the Super Bowl? I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun couple hours. Obviously, it's basically the end of the football season, so we all have to dive fully into basketball and into the football offseason. We'll get back to a lot of Alabama football conversations. Look, I enjoyed the halftime show. I know we made the joke at the very beginning about me not understanding. Oh, or was that on the recording I didn't start?
No, he talks about it.
We started for about 2 minutes and I realized I didn't hit record. But no, I enjoyed it. I didn't understand anything that Bad Bunny had to say because I'm not a Spanish expert. I am a very basic Spanish understander. And so I enjoyed the show for what it was, the 15-20 minutes for what it was. You said it was bad. Why?
Yes, okay.
Was it bad because you didn't understand it? Why was it bad?
So I am very familiar with Bad Bunny, the shirt. If you see Metro Panama,
okay,
it is a baseball team in Panama. It's where my parents and brother live. I've probably spent at least upwards of 5 months of my life living in Panama. I'd say I go there for all my breaks. I spent the summer before going here there. So very familiar with Bad Bunny. He is not a good artist. You see,
okay,
I have nothing against Latino music, Hispanic culture, any of that.
Sure.
Bad Bunny is like the Drake of their music, right? Like it's still not good. It is and he does fake mumble rap.
But Drake does bangers all the time. You used to call me on my cell phone.
No, he's not that version of Drake. I used to say Drake because he's just overproduced mainstream slop that they want people to listen to and enjoy. You know, my brother in Panama, he went to a Bad Bunny party last night where a girl from all of the from the class like had half the school over to, you know, yeah, we'll hang out, we'll like play music, we'll have some food while we sit around and wait for halftime to go. And then people started heading out of the party after the show because they're like, no, I'm not going to stay for any of this football game. I love that the NFL, brought in Bad Bunny to try to recruit an international audience, then delivered one of the worst Super Bowls they'll watch.
That's true.
That did not really have an intended.
If you want to hook all the fans, you got to give them 49, 52.
They got a lot of field goals though, so they're probably used to that. No, I thought it just wasn't all that good of a show, and that's not from a political standpoint at all.
Sure.
I just want to make it clear. I'm not being political. I just think Bad Bunny's music is very.
So you're saying he's an industry plant?
He's an industry plant.
Okay. All right.
He is an industry plant.
Those new fans probably think Jason Myers is the best player in the NFL.
Marist legend, Jason Myers. That college, Marist College, about 40 minutes from me. Tiny FCS school. Irrelevant Division I school. The Red Foxes, home of Rick Smits in Poughkeepsie, New York. So
I think I went into the halftime show just determined to enjoy it because I knew that I wasn't going to be able to understand the music lyrically, but just I enjoyed it from the sense of it kept the energy high. It was very high energy. It was visually appealing, and I think that what it did was, without being and look, correct me because I understand very basic minimal Spanish, but to me it looked like Bad Bunny was visually telling the story of hard work, visually telling the story of family, visually telling the story of togetherness and fun. And so I enjoyed those aspects of it because you saw the couple get married, and they actually, apparently reports are they actually got married right there really on the set. You saw that. You saw kind of we're about love and family, and then you saw a couple of those scenes where it was just pandemonium, dancers all dancing around each other. I enjoyed it. You saw him talk to the little kid and kind of like maybe give the little kid some encouragement. Obviously, like I don't understand the lyrics, so like I didn't understand if there were messages kind of woven into that. And if he said some bad things, then I'm sorry, I didn't understand that either. But I from a simple here's 20 minutes, let me entertain you, mission accomplished.
Yeah, hard to argue with that. I mean, as far as
now, my bar might be too low. We'll say that.
I mean, we've just had a horrible run of Super Bowl halftime shows. I'm sorry, Kendrick Lamar was atrocious last year. Not a fan of that show, but yeah, I don't have much more to say about that.
It's all right. Yeah, there's not much more to get into it, honestly. If you enjoyed it or you didn't enjoy it, that's A-okay. If you didn't enjoy it, that's all right. There'll be a new halftime show next year, and you can maybe hopefully enjoy that one when the Bears are in it. Or the Giants.
It'll be Giants.
The G-Man.
The Giants are 2 years away, so I don't think it'll be us this year.
Always 2 years
Caleb
away.
Can have it
Always 2 years away. 2 years away.
We've got to have our bad year, get rid of Matt Nagy, and then we can start to win.
Absolutely. Let's finish up with Alabama athletics here. Just a quick shout out to the Alabama softball team because they went 5-0 this weekend. And look, that's fine. They usually go unbeaten in their first weekend where they play this kind of weekend set series tournament of sorts. They ended up going 5-0 against Georgia Tech, Villanova, and who was the other? Doesn't matter. They ended up going 5-0 against at least Georgia Tech and Villanova. But the impressive part, if you weren't paying attention and you have been out on this Alabama softball program for the last 2 years or so, maybe 3 years or so, since Montana Fouts graduated, let me give you some numbers that might suck you back in. This past weekend, the Crimson Tide hit 18 home runs in 5 games. The previous record for an opening weekend was 10 home runs in 2011 and 2022. They hit 18 home runs, just smacked them all over the fence. 51 RBIs, a program record in an opening weekend. Their last, they broke 2019's record of 48 RBI, and they hit a 881 slugging percentage. The previous record was 792 in 2022. So the ladies were smashing the ball at the plate, and I know that's been a huge complaint from the Alabama fan base for 5 years, maybe, that, Coach Murphy hasn't adapted to the new power game of softball, blah, 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 blah. People getting upset with the greatest coach in Alabama softball history. It seems like this year's team can hit the softball. Jocelyn Brisky got into the action on Saturday for her first action of the year. You played lots of freshmen in the circle early and then supported them with Jocelyn Brisky. Ended up with 17 strikeouts in Saturday's doubleheader, across Saturday's doubleheader. So really, really strong performances from the circle as well. But I guess the most notable thing is these girls are hitting the cover off the ball.
Yes, they are. It was a very fun performance. East Carolina was the other win, 9-1 on day 2 of that. But, I made it out to their media availability last week, and it's a fun team. Like, they have some youth. They have some new players in the mix there. I think most people have almost given up on the program a little bit, saying, yeah, we know what's going to happen. We know we're going to be one of the 14, 15, 16 seed, one of the last teams to host a regional and win that and maybe make a World Series run. But this team maybe has a bit of a higher ceiling, right? We could see 18 homers is just absurd. Alabama softball hit just 60 all year last season.
So they've knocked out basically a third of their home runs.
No, it is.
It was one weekend.
Really fun to see. And I think we'll just continue to see the offense rolling. And Jocelyn Brisky is an incredible pitcher. He was a little quiet in this opening weekend. 1, because she didn't need to, and 2, because she's coming off an injury.
Right, Saturday was her only appearance.
Yeah, and you didn't need her at all. But when we get to these marquee SEC matchups, she's going to deliver some incredible performances, and I think it'll be a good year on both of the diamonds for Alabama this year.
Ooh, Alabama baseball opening this
5 days. Friday afternoon, Washington State. I'm excited, man.
What day do you want to do that, Theo? Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday? Do you want to take 20 minutes where I sit and listen to you about to describe and discuss this Alabama baseball team?
You pick it. Just let me know, and I'm ready to roll.
How about let me check with Brax if Brax wants to come in. We need to get Katie Wyndham in here to talk softball as well. So that's what we'll do the rest of the week. We'll get Brax Garrison in here, maybe to talk Super Bowl. We'll get Theo to break down and preview this Alabama baseball season, and we'll get Katie Wyndham to react to Alabama softball's first weekend and set up the rest of the year, the rest of this week on the Joe Gaither Show. We appreciate Derek Daniel for sponsoring the program, for hosting the program. You can find Derek Daniel State Farm Insurance right here off McFarland Boulevard, past the Tiger Rock on the left as you get into Northport. Call Derek for all of your insurance needs at 205-758-3391. Like a good neighbor, Derek Daniel is there. And we appreciate Purple Turtle Roofing for sponsoring the program as well. You can find all your information that you need to get in contact with Purple Turtle Roofing to figure out all their services and find out how they can help you and give you the peace of mind that you deserve by visiting roofturtle.com. And you can find us on your favorite podcast platform, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify. Subscribe, rate, review the program. We'll talk to you tomorrow right here on the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral, BamaCentral.com.